Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Now this is going to be a vinyl update today. I believe this is vinyl update number 20, I think it is, 21, 20, something like that. And this is going to be quite a long video. Got a lot of vinyl finds to show from like the last month or so. Got like some VCLT from like James Lack, which I'll show first. Then some records from my uncle's old record collection, which are really like interesting, cool stuff there. And then like some stuff that I have purchased as well, like a couple of like books, CDs, and then finally onto the vinyl. But now I'm just going to get started with the vinyl, what James Lack sent up. And basically, like, we've done a trade recently. I sent him all of my Jam albums, what like I no longer needed. Well, since I got like the box set. And like he like said like a couple of like double albums, like what like well like what like he had like 2 copies of like his like doubles what he had. So like he let me choose like 3 of them, and like these are like the ones that I chose here. So firstly it is Fleetwood Mac, greatest hits here. Been sort of like, this has been like all on like my mind to get for like a wee while, basically just like compilation, all like the great songs. So yeah, that's really cool. Next one here, I actually showed this on CD in like my last vinyl update, like it was like my dad's old CD, but now got Genesis Duke on vinyl. It's like my first Genesis album on vinyl. Really like this album actually, sort of like it's early sort of Phil Collins Genesis, so like it's like 1980 this came out, so yeah, very glad that like he had like a copy of this what he could send me. And then he said like in like his little note that he was quite glad to get rid of this one here, and it is a Art Garfunkel solo album called Angel Claire. I've still not played this yet, like unfortunately, but this is quite an interesting copy. This is, I think it's an American copy, and the record label's quite interesting there, just thought I'd point that out to you. But yeah, not heard this one here, and like I don't have like any other like Art Garfunkel solo albums. If I'm gonna be honest, he was probably like one of like the most luckiest men like in like rock music to meet like someone like Paul Simon, who was like so like talented, like writes songs, plays the guitar, can sing pretty good. Like Art Garfunkel, like he can sing quite well, but like, most like the stuff on here, like it's all covers, and like yeah, so I'm probably not going to like enjoy this that much. But thank you, James, for like sending me like all like these albums, like it really means a lot. So now on to the records from my uncle's collection, what like he kindly let me have. First 3 I think here were all my granddad's, or like maybe like my mum's, I'm not too sure, but like they're not like that like interesting. But then we do get like some really cool like sort of like 80s stuff here, so like yeah, like stick around. First one here though is Cat Stevens' greatest hits here. Yeah, Cat Stevens just sort of like singer-songwriter sort of style guy. Not played this yet, but I think I'll like it. I mean, it's just like his greatest hits, so yeah, that's good. Now we have an album what I'm not a fan of this artist, but like this is an album sort of like Rumours by Fleetwood Mac, Dark Side of the Moon, Sgt. Pepper. Like it's an essential album, like it's one what like really sort of like has to be in like people's like record collections, like in terms of like how like big an album it was. It's Michael Jackson Thriller here, and so yeah, like I said, I'm not a fan like of like Michael Jackson, but this is just for what this is, just sort of lightweight pop music. This is like pretty good like lightweight pop music, and like yeah, like best-selling album of all time, sort of like it's sort of like has to be in like many people's like record collections. Now same sort of thing with like this next one here, although like I do actually think that like this guy is like genuinely talented. It is Prince and Purple Rain here. Now there's a video on YouTube, I believe it's George Harrison's posthumous induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So like you've got like Jeff Lynne, Tom Petty, Clapton, like the usual gang there, they're all doing like Wow My Guitar Gently Weeps, and then like at the end Prince comes on and does like the solo, and like he really just nails it. Like the solo like at the end, like what he does is just like absolutely fantastic. So yeah, like again, this probably like isn't like my cup of tea, but like it was free, and like again, like I wouldn't think twice about like even buying this like in like a record shop. And yeah, same sort of thing with like this next one here. Like it's just like a good song, and like it's a good like soundtrack. It's the Chariots of Fire soundtrack, like classic song. But like again with like the last one, I wouldn't think twice about like getting this again in like a record store. So now on to my uncle's old records here. First one here is a REM one called Life's Rich Pageant. Now I do actually really like REM. I've got the greatest hits CD, and like that's on like my iPod, and like listen to it, and like I listen to it like occasionally like at work. I really like most of it, but like I don't believe that like any of like the songs on this album are actually on like the greatest hits. Like I could be wrong, and like I haven't like played this yet, so like maybe like when I do, some of like the tracks that might like pop out to me, but like I'll just show like the labels to these ones here from like now on, because previous ones there, like they weren't that interesting, but that's good to get on my first REM album on vinyl. Next two here are from what I believe is one of James Lobben's favourite groups, or like if not like one of like his absolute favourites, like he's certainly like a fan of like this artist. It is Talk Talk here. Got two of their albums here. This one here is called Party's Over. I believe this was their debut album, like when I was speaking to him. So yeah, that's that there. And then also the very best of Talk Talk here, which was a good starting place. Like I do like a good greatest hits album, because it's sort of like an introduction to like the artist, and like sort of like showcases like what like they're like good at doing and like successful at doing as well. So like yeah, like if like I played this and like I did like it a lot, like maybe like a couple of like the tracks that weren't to my liking, but like overall like I thought that it was pretty good stuff on here. So like yeah, like I thoroughly enjoyed very best of Talk Talk. But now a couple of 12-inch singles here. First one here is the Stone Roses and Made of Stone. Great Manchester band, and like yeah, that's where like I'm sort of like from, like Manchester. That's where like my mum's from. So yeah, great song. Love this song here. Also they had well, like they also had like the CD single for She Bangs the Drums, which is a fantastic song. Love that song. So yeah, that's great there. Like I'm considering like maybe picking up like their debut album, or like I believe it was like the only album what like they actually put out, just like the self-titled one. Cause like I hear like great things about it. Like I've listened to it and like really liked it. That's how like I got to know this song here, and like yeah, this is a great 12-inch single. Another classic 12-inch single is this one here. This is New Order and the song Blue Monday. Classic song, classic 12-inch single. I believe this is like the biggest selling 12-inch single. Yeah, great song. Maybe like a lot of people that might be like surprised like by like these ones here, because like I mostly just talk about 60s, 70s stuff, but like I am like getting into like this sort of like more like 80s sort of style, and like yeah, absolutely love this song. So a couple of records now by the band The Talking Heads. First one here is called, what's this one called? Stop Making Sense here. This is the 1984 album here, so yeah, just pretty basic package here. I haven't listened to this one yet, so I can't really comment on it, but I know that like David Byrne, I believe, is like the main sort of songwriter guy. Like I've heard of him before, and like I've heard that like he's like pretty good. So I thought that I'd give like these guys a try. And like another one here, like by the Talking Heads, but I have actually played this one here. Like I think I played like the first 3 tracks on here, just like when like I was sampling them all. This is an album called Little Creatures here, and like yeah, I really like the first 3 tracks, like And She Was the Owner. It's like a great wee song actually. So yeah, love the cover. The cover's fantastic, and like the records in here just show like the record there. Love like the labels there. I'm not too sure how well this is coming out. But yeah, like a pretty good album from like what I've heard of this one here, and like 1985 this came out. So yeah, very glad to add this to my collection. Next one up now is from a band where I must confess I actually thought were like a modern band, like a new sort of like up and coming band, like when like I heard the name, but when I saw this album, like I was a bit surprised actually. It is by a band called Echo and the Bunnymen. So I thought that they were like a new band when I heard the name. They're not. They're from the 80s. This was 1984. This came out. The album Ocean Rain here, and I played this and I really liked it. Now I might think that like I sound like a bit mad, but this did a little bit remind me like a bit of like ELO, sort of like strings on like this, and like certainly that first side more than anything was a bit like got like a little bit of like a Jeff Lynne like influence on it, but yeah, but just like a really like solid album, and like I think that like this will become like one of my favourites. Next one up here is like one I was quite glad to find, because I showed the CD in like my last vinyl update, and like actually someone like requested that I review this album, so that will be coming up soon. It is Tears for Fears The Hurting, and I really like this album as well. Got like a lot of like great songs in. Mad World's fantastic song, Pale Shelters on here, and what was the other one I liked? I think was it Suffer the Children. I really liked as well. So yeah, a lot of great stuff in here. We'll be reviewing this soon as like requested. I've forgotten like who's like requested it, but we'll give them a shout out in like my review of it. So yeah, I'll just show the record and the label here. So a great wee album. This 1983, I believe this came out. Was it 83 or 84? I'm not too sure. But so yeah, I will go into a bit more detail when I do my review of it. Now, back in the 80s, my uncle's favourite group was the Smiths. Now, like, that'd be surprised to learn that I am, like, a mild fan of theirs. Like, I do like a lot of, like, their hit songs, or some of, like, the more popular songs, because I do have this CD here, which is, like, what was in, like, a parents' collection for some reason. Like, they gave it to me, and, like, said, like, you might like this stuff here, but, like, I never played it, though. And, like, this is about, like, a year ago now. And then, like, about like, a couple of months back, I heard, like, one, like, their songs on, like, the radio, and, like, I really enjoyed it, so I put this on like, my iPod, and, like, it's been pretty much, like, my album of choice for about, like, 3 weeks, like, after that, going, like, to and from work, like, listening, like, in, like, my earphones to, like, this album, and, like, yeah, like, really, like, enjoyed it. Well, so, like, I was very, very pleased to get all of my uncle's old Smiths records here. So we had, I think, 3 12-inch singles here. First one here is How Soon Is Now. Great song. Quite different sort of sound for theirs, but yeah, really love it. Just in that plain sleeve there. Next one up here is Panic, song here, just 12-inch single to it. Another one here, Girlfriend in a Coma here. Seems a bit pointless, so it's like a 2-minute song and like it's on like a 12-inch single. I mean, 7-inch would have been probably better for it, but like there, like you see, just like it's 2 minutes and it's on the 12-inch, but whatever. Yeah, it's a pretty good song. Right, so I'm not sure if there'll be any Smiths experts watching this video here, but like I'm not too sure like about like some like these albums. Like I'm not sure like if I've got a complete studio albums collection like on theirs yet, but I could just show you like what like, I managed to get from like, my uncle's collection. We have Smiths Strange Ways Here We Come. I believe this is their last album from 1987. This one came out. So I'll just show like the inner sleeves to all these ones here, because these are all like original British copies, and like some of these are like quite hard to get now. Like you see them in like record shops, quite sort of like pricey, about sort of £15 to £20. A lot of these go for. So yeah, like I'm really chuffed to get like them all for free basically. So next one here is the album Meat Is Murder. I'm not too sure about this one here. Like I'm just looking at like the track listings, and like I don't believe that like any of like the songs in there were on like that CD like what I showed. I think That Joke Isn't Funny Anymore, I think was on the CD, but that's one of like my least favourites like on that. So like I'm not too sure like about this album. Sounds like it would be quite preachy though, so I might not enjoy this one as much as like some of like the other ones, but yeah, like glad I've got a copy of it. Next one up here is The Queen Is Dead. Now I have listened to this one and like I did like enjoy it, but there was like a list on like a couple of years back what like voted this album as like the greatest of all time, but I really do like have to like disagree with that. Like it was good, but certainly better than like the Beatles albums and like Pink Floyd, no way. But like, there are some like great songs in here. The Boy with a Thorn in His Side, There Is a Lie That Never Goes Out. The songs are always a mouthful to say. Big Mouth Strikes Again, and like, a couple like other like decent ones today. Frankly, Mr. Shankly was quite a funny one. Vicar in a Tutu. But yeah, greatest album of all time. Afraid Not for me. But yeah, very iconic picture there, and lyrics, inner sleeve, and the record here. So yeah. But I'm very glad to get like a original British copy of like The Queen Is Dead. But next one up here like is like one like I'm not so sure about. It is called The World Won't Listen, and like basically like this seems like a compilation album. Like I think like you've got tracks in there from like The Queen Is Dead album that like, and then like some songs like what I'm not familiar with. So this certainly like this certainly like isn't like a best of album, but like first side though is like pretty good. Like every song got like the first side like I know, but like the second side has like some more like obscure stuff on it. But there's the record label there. I think you can just about see that there. And then the final one for my uncle's collection here is the Smiths Hat Full of Hollow. But like again, I'm not too sure like what this one is here, because like there are a couple of tracks what like were like live and that like I think there were like a couple of like John Peel like Radio 1 sessions like on here, but then also some like studio recordings like on like the second side. So whatever it is, like this one here like does have like a lot of great songs in there, like This Charming Man's on here, How Soon Is Now, What Difference Does It Make? But like they're all like sort of like live versions though, so like this was like pretty like interesting to get like the alternate versions like of the songs. So that's it for like my uncle's records. Very big thank you for like letting me like have like them all. Like really like appreciate it. Like a lot of like new music for me to like delve into, so yeah, like I'm really grateful. Now we're 20 minutes in and like I'm only just getting to like the stuff that I've actually purchased myself here. But so yeah, basically just got some stuff from like various like record shops I've been to like over like the last month, and then like also like some new vinyl reissues what I bought like online. But firstly though, I have got like a couple of like CDs I'm wanting to show. First two here are ones I bought at a shop called That's Entertainment. Jam reference there, like in like the name like off like the shop. I got these two CDs here. Paul Weller, this is just modern classics. Basically just like his greatest hits, like up until 1999 I believe this was put out. Would quite like to get this like on vinyl though, because like I'm like really like getting like into like his solo stuff more and more, but like unfortunately very difficult to get on vinyl. And then we also got this one here, which is called the Small Faces, the complete collection. Sort of like they were sort of like 60s sort of mod groups, or like contemporaries of like the Who and like the Kinks. Look, now like I love like both like those groups, so like I thought that I would give like these guys a try, and like I really like most like the stuff on here, like pretty like interesting sort of 60s stuff. It's now a classic album like on CD. Mostly just got this one to shove it like onto like my iPod, listen to at work and that. Tom Petty, Damn the Torpedoes. Fantastic album, so many great songs. I'm definitely going to review this like in like, the future, because I absolutely love this album. And then also same sort of thing with this next one, Quadrophenia by The Who. Just got this one put on like my iPod. Really nice sort of CD package. So I've got like the book, what you get with like the vinyl copy of it. So yeah, glad I got this one. Like again, very cheap on like Amazon, about sort of like £2 for both of them. Now on to some music related books now. Like I know I called this like a vinyl update, and like I haven't even showed like any vinyls what I've bought yet. But anyway, books, we have Tom Petty, song book here, guitar chord book. So basically just like what it says like on the tin, the chords to like all like the Tom Petty songs. Selection of like about 40 songs there. So not a complete by like any means, but a pretty good like reference if like I'm wanting like to learn or play like one of like his songs. I've also got this one recently. It is a Jeff Lynne biography. It's called The Electric Light Orchestra Before and After. I believe this was like issued quite recently, sort of 2015. This was like published. And like yeah, just like biography on like Jeff Lynne's career, and that sort of goes through like his time with like ELO and like into like his production work in like later like 80s and 90s. So yeah, pretty good read. Nothing too new is like revealed like what like I didn't know like in like this book. Like the only thing what like I think I didn't know was like in like the early 70s, Jeff, Roy Wood and Bev Bevan actually were going to make an ELO movie, or like the record company like was making like a movie like on them, what like they were going to like star in, but like never came to happen. But like yeah, like a pretty good read here, and I would probably like recommend like this book to people. And I found out books now. I was in HMV recently, and like I saw this was £12 for all of this here. It's called The Beatles Solo, and like basically what you get is like you get a individual book on like each of like their solo careers. So I'll pick out, let's say George. So basically just like get like a little book of like each like solo Beatles, and like these are good enough. I mean, there's nothing too like new, like interesting, what like I didn't know before, but like yeah, pretty good like overview. I would have maybe liked it more like if like they'd gone like album by album through like each like the solo careers, but like it's mostly just sort of focus. It's mostly just pictures and like little pieces of text like here and there, like sort of like the Wilburys and that, and like yeah, like one of these are like each like the solo Beatles. And like later, like when I did get this, I found like it's about £25 on like Amazon. This was £12 in like HMV, and like it does have like quite a few sort of like negative reviews on like Amazon. People say the content like isn't like very good, and like it was okay, but it's not like earth shattering like the stuff what's in here. Like there's nothing really like that new what's uncovered like in like these books. So now at last we are onto the vinyl finds. So first one here is a 7-inch. This is Paul McCartney Birthday. A live version of Birthday, and backed with Good Day Sunshine. This was £1 in like a record shop, like when like I got like some of like my other stuff. Like next one up now is an ELO 12-inch single. It is for Calling America. Very creative cover, exactly same as like the Bounce of Power album. But like the main reason though, like why I bought this one like on eBay, is because of the two B-sides, which are Caught in a Trap and Destination Unknown, which aren't like any off like the studio album. So like yeah, like this was like pretty nice to get. Isn't in like the greatest shape, it's okay condition, but like yeah, like it was like very cheap like on eBay, so I just thought why not just like further type my ELO Jefflin collection. Next one up now is a Roger Daltrey solo album. Basically, like I'm nearly complete on like the Who's stuff together, like as a group. So I'm now sort of like trying to get like some like the solo stuff, because it is like most of the time it's like very like affordable. So I've got this on here, Roger Daltrey, One of the Boys here. This was 1977, I believe this one came out here. And like this actually does feature a song written by Paul McCartney. I believe it's a track called Giddy. On like the Ram reissue, you get a song called Road All Night, and like I believe that like those two like are quite similar. I haven't played this one yet though, so I can't like really like comment on like the music on this, but like yeah, just on some Polydor records there. Yeah, I can't also probably need to like glue this down sometime soon, like after like this video. It's all like coming apart a little bit. Right, so here's one for Rockboy. It is Eric Clapton and 461 Ocean Boulevard here. Very good album actually. The two songs on here what I am familiar with were I Shot the Sheriff and Let It Grow, which are both very good songs indeed. So yeah, again, still not got around to playing this one though. Like I hopefully like will like sometime soon, and like I'll give like the other like music on here like a listen. But there we are on RSO Records there. So not sure if this is like original from like 1973, I think, when this came out. Was it the 74 this came out actually? So like yeah, might be like original. I don't really know, but like yeah. Good to get some more like Eric Clapton. Haven't got too much of his stuff, but like yeah, it's like you see like everywhere, and like most of the time it's like quite affordable to get. So I'll hopefully try and get like some more of his records. Next one up is a Style Council record. This was a group what Paul Weller was in during the 1980s with Mick Talbot. This is their album Our Favourite Shop here. This is a UK pressing. I believe that the American version is like completely different to this here. And like not seen like this album like before or since like actually purchased this here, but yeah, pretty nice. Sort of quite like unique. Sort of comes out off like the middle here. So like there we have the lyrics. Is it lyrics? Yeah, lyrics and stuff here. Picture of the two of them, and then the records here. So there's a couple of like good songs here. What ones did I like? Well, like I think I like the song Lock. And Walls Come Tumbling Down was like the hit like on this album, but like there wasn't like too many like well-known stuff for here. There's certainly more like a singles band like the Style Council, but like yeah, like this is like a decent album, but certainly not like one like the best like I've ever heard. And now from a different shop, I got Café Bleu, and this was £1, so this was a pretty good find actually. This is their debut album from 1984 this came out here, and we do get like a couple more like great songs in here. A version of My Ever Changing Moods is on here, but it's a slightly different version. Like it's just like Paul and like Mick at like the piano like doing it, like rather than like sort of like all like the trumpets and that on like this single version. You're the Best things on this album here. I also really like the song A Head Start for Happiness. And like his One That Got Away is like a great tune as well. So like yeah, just in like plain blue like in his sleeve, and like nice record label. I like the custom like record labels what like they put on, and like has like a wee bonus thing as well. Like I didn't like actually know that it came with this, but it comes with a little magazine in here as well, a little sort of insert here, which is just basically has like some sort of pictures in here, some sort of like linear notes and like lyrics to like the songs of that, and like all like the other Style Council releases I got to that point. So yeah, really cool. Sort of like a bit of fun most of the time, and like they were good like up until about 1985 I think, and then like after that they just sort of like it was like a slow and like steady decline for them. But certainly like their early stuff is like pretty good actually. Another pound find here is Squeeze. This is East Side Story, my first Squeeze studio album apart from Cradle to Grave, that I recently reviewed. So like yeah, I'm not too sure like what this one like will be like. It does have the songs Only Attempted, Is That Love, and Labelled With Love. All of them were hit singles. This was also produced by Elvis Costello as well, this album. So yeah, like I'm hopeful that this will be a pretty good listen on A&M Records there. So yeah, looking forward to giving this a spin. I've recently done like a top 10 songs like this artist here, and like I said like in like that video that I'd be hopeful to like maybe pick up like this album like or like order it online. But I was so glad that like when like my dad came across this in like the pound bin, I just like had to get it. It was Billy Joel, The Stranger. Absolute classic album. So many great songs here, just like chart listed. I think the first side is like on like the greatest hits album I've got. As well as that, we have like Only the Good Die Young and She's Always a Woman, but well, like big hits as well. So yeah, great album. And like Mysterious, my version here comes with 2 of the exact same inserts here. So like if anyone has like a copy like off the Stranger but is missing like an insert, do get in touch. I can send you like my like extra one. But yeah, absolutely like amazing album this. I think this is maybe like an 80s reissue of it, but like I really don't care because it's just the music on it is like so fantastic. And like yeah, I'm like getting like into like Billy Joel like a bit more lately. So yeah, it's a good find. Another terrific find here is the album The Best of the Beach Boys here. This is sort of like the greatest hits of like the early stuff here. And again, like I think that this could be a original mono from the 60s because we do have like the flip backs on like the back of it there, and like also it's on quite a heavy vinyl pressing here. Like as you can see here, it's quite weighty, this vinyl, and it's on like CBS the Capitol Rainbow label here. So yeah. Pretty good like compilation. I think I've now got everything I need for like the Beach Boys. Got this and like Pet Sounds, and like I think like that's me done because I'm not like the biggest fan of theirs, but like yeah, they had some like terrific songs. Like most of them like all like on this album. Next one here is like another one that I've been meaning to get for like a while, and like I'm glad that like I got this one here. Like this was like very like affordable. It is Fleetwood Mac's self-titled 1975 album. A lot of great songs in it. I'd say this is like every bit as good as Rumours. We have Monday Morning, fantastic song. Rhiannon is on here. Over My Head's a lovely Christine McVie ballad. Say You Love Me, Landslide, World Turning. A lot of great stuff on it. And like I'm So Afraid, a pretty good rocker as well. Like at like the end of like sort of like a more of a hard like rocking song like that one. So there's the vinyl here. We are on Reprise Records there. So like again, like I'm not sure like if this is like a like original 70s copy, but like I really like not too bothered because of like the music what I get it for. This copy also comes with the original insert here, which does have like a few like wee stains and like marks in it, but I'm glad that like it comes with it, just like all like the lyrics to the songs. Another one from like that same record shop was this one here, David Gilmour's self-titled solo album. Now, like it was like they had this one, and like they also had the final cut by Pink Floyd, and like so like I'm nearly like complete on like Pink Floyd, but like that album I really don't like. So I thought that I'd take a chance with this one. Haven't heard this one yet, but like David Gilmour is like my favourite member like of Pink Floyd. I think he's a great singer, great guitar player. So I thought that this would be like a pretty good listen. Here we are on EMI Harvest. So I believe this is like original. I think this was £8 this one here, so pretty good price for it. And like yeah, on like EMI Harvest there. Like a now final find from like the record shop what I went to is the Who album, a quick one here. Like it was really good that like I came across this one because I'm actually thinking of like getting like the 2015 remastered version. But this I believe is from like the late 1990s or like early 2000s. Because like it's on this Polydor label, and like it says made in the EU, so I think it must be like later than like I think it was like 90s or like something like that. But like yeah, like it's a fairly recent pressing, and like it's a lovely heavy pressing of it, and like this was very cheap. This was £8, so pretty much about like half the price of like what like a brand new pressing off like this would cost. And like at the end of like this one here, like at the end of like the track, a quick one while he's away, we get the single Happy Jack. So like nice bonus on this one here. But so now on to the various new vinyl and like reissues I have bought over the last month or so. Couple here like I have had since like the start of like the month. Like I didn't like get around to showing them again in like an update video. First one here is like one I got quite recently. It is called Mr. Blue Sky, the very best of the Electric Light Orchestra here. And this is basically just Jeff Lynne going back and like re-recording all of like his old like ELO hits on here. Got this like in HMV recently, and like this was like the unique situation where this was actually cheaper like in HMV than like actually like on like Amazon. So like I just thought like I'd get it. This isn't like essential by like any means. If like you have like ELO's greatest hits, this is basically like well like this is it. But like I like mostly just got this one here for like completist purposes here just to get like complete on like ELO and like have everything which Jeff's done. Still needing the ELO live album, might get that next month. But like, yeah, like we'll see. And like basically just like re-recording like all like the songs in there. Not too sure why, and it's like there's various reasons. Like he's some say that it's like to get like royalties if like they're using like films, like TV commercials. If like they use these versions, like he gets like more money or like something like that. But like we do get like 2 bonus tracks in here, version of 10538 Overture, which I actually prefer this recording than like the original recording, and also Point of No Return, which is a fantastic song. That like would have been great if like they'd left like that song like off this album and like put that on like Alone in the Universe, because it would have made like that album like a little bit stronger. I feel, because it's a great wee rocker like Point of No Return. So yeah, glad we got this one. Next one up now, I have had this a good wee while now. It is Paul Weller and More Modern Classics here. I got this one here basically because I've got his most recent album, Saturn's Pattern, which I have to say I think is like the best album like of 2015. And like I really like enjoyed that one there. I was like getting like into like, the Style Council and that, so I thought let's give like his solo stuff a try. So I did, and like I really liked the majority like of the stuff in there. This just covers 1999 through to 2014, so 15-year period is like covered on here. A lot of great stuff on here. So I'll just show like the 2 like inner sleeves here, and like maybe like one of like the records. There's a sort of insert, and then we have sort of passage and pictures and the record there. So pretty good like compilation actually. You get I think about 20 songs on like this double vinyl set. Really nice. Now again, like shortly after purchasing this, like I wound up getting the CD edition of it here. It's just the exact same, but like it was very cheap like on Amazon, so I thought why not just get both of them. This one like my iPod, this one like my turntable. Would be like to be like a great wee set, and like it's basically like I'm now like looking to get like a couple of like more like Paul Weller like solo stuff like on vinyl, but like because like most of it was done from like say like the mid-90s through to like so like 2000s, like it's like quite difficult to get like most of like the time. But like I've ordered his album before Saturn's Pattern, what was called Sonic Kicks, and like the songs like from that album like on here like I really love. So like yeah, like I've got that one coming in like my next update. Next one up now is my first David Bowie album here. This is Hunky Dory. Have heard fantastic things like about this album, so I thought that I will like, give it a shot. This is the 2016 vinyl reissue, and I really like this album. We've got Changes is on here, Oh You Pretty Things, Life on Mars, so like they felt like all like the 3 biggest like popular songs there. But like I love like the whole of like the first side was like very good indeed. So we have comes with like a pointless like extra like inner sleeve there, proper one here with just like nice label there. There's Bowie on it. Like, and then with this we also get like an insert here, just like lyrics on it. But yeah, I really like this album. Think about getting Ziggy Stardust next month. But like yeah, this was like his 4th album, and like yeah, really good stuff on here. Right, so I've had this next one for what seems like an age, but like it is the Who's debut album, My Generation is. So like I'm now complete on like the Who, like after getting like a quick one, because I got like that one because I got a quick one like after this one here. Bit confusing, but like yeah, so like I'm now complete on like the Who up to It's Hard. But like they were great when they were great, up till about sort of 75 I think the Who by Numbers came out, and like after that like it was just like a slow sort of like steady decline until we got to like It's Hard, and like yeah, so but this is like a cracking debut. A lot of people sort of like overlook this album, but like I think that like there's so many great songs in here. I love the opening track like Out in the Street, great song. My Generation of course is on here. The Kids Are Alright, It's Not True, I love that one. Illegal Matter is like a fantastic track as well. So great to get this on here. This is a 2014 reissue, I believe it is. I believe it is, or like it's a very recent reissue. Right, but yeah, like it's really nice to get like a lovely clean copy of like the Who's classic debut album. Surely like one of like the best debut albums ever for me. Right, so now I'm going to finish off like this rather long vinyl update with a Tom Petty find. Believe that like the last thing I showed in like my last update, my last 2 updates were both Tom Petty albums, but like this one here is the album Mojo, Now I got this one purely on like the recommendation of like Rockboy680. Like in like his vinyl update like a couple of months back, like he said that this was his absolute favourite Tom Petty album. So I just thought I'd go out and like get it, and like it was harder than like I thought, because it was. I was like went out like and like tried to find this like on Amazon, but like they weren't selling it like anymore on like the UK store. So like I had to go on like Amazon, American like Amazon, and like buy this in. And like I'm so glad I did. Although I don't think that this is like Tom Petty's best album, it certainly rocks, this album. So many great songs in here, and like lovely packaging, really thick cardboard there, and like it's really lovely, like the packaging to this here. Nice again, his sleeves here. And like it's maybe a little bit long, this album. It is well, like it's like a double album, about 4 songs per side. So like what's that, 4 times 4, 16, so 16 tracks on here. Maybe like a little bit on like the long side for like a whole album. And like also probably like do prefer like their 2014 album Hypnotic Eye, because it's a bit more like melodic, that album, whereas this is a bit more sort of bluesy and like jamming based and that. But yeah, we have an insert with this one as well, sort of like lyrics and credits and stuff as well. So yeah, but yeah, great album here, fantastic find, and like big thanks to like Rockboy for like recommending this to me, because like I probably like otherwise would have just like forgotten like about this album, and like would have like came around to buying it like when it would have like shot up like in value, because this was 2010 this came out. So like yeah, it is like getting like a bit more like expensive, this album, but like luckily like I managed to get it for like a pretty decent price. But yeah, now finally we have come to the end of this vinyl update video here. Got like a lot of like pretty like cool stuff this month from like the records, from like well, like from like my uncle, like out at the store, like all like the Smiths records and that. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. Stuff from like record stores, and like also like these new like reissues as well. It's like really cool. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.